How's it going, everyone? Lunatic Rider 209. So, had a subscriber reach out to me. He asked if I could do a video for him on assembling a slide upper parts kit. So, we're going to do that today. And before I get started, I'd like to give a big shout out to the Recover Tactical Team, Squirrel Daddy, All American Snapcaps, Avalanche Arms, Armory Depot, NDZ Performance, and for custom designs, Hats Off Customs, spelt with 2 T's. Alright, so here on my gun mat, I got a brand new Glock 19 Gen 3, everything OEM. Just go ahead, flip the slide over. What I like to do is what you do with your thumb is apply a good amount of pressure on the back of the recoil spring, and you want to push forward, and as you're pushing forward you'll see that then you're able to lift up slightly. Then it's undone from the barrel, pull out, set that aside. Now what you want to do is press on the barrel up like so from the top of the slide. Grab the locking lugs on the barrel, lift up and slide out. Okay, now the rear of the slide. What you want to do is you want to make sure you have your gap between the firing pin and the spacer sleeve, so you can use your tool to push down on the spacer sleeve. You can use a small flathead screwdriver, a small punch, or a tool if you have. What I like to do is use a dry rag to put my thumb in grip on the slide cover plate. Now what you want to do is get your tool and put it between the bottom of the firing pin and above the spacer sleeve. Now what you want to do is push down on the spacer sleeve and hold it down, and as you're holding it down, get your thumb and slide up, and you'll hear the extractor depressor plunger click, and then you can remove your tool, still holding pressure on the back of your slide. Now what you want to do is continue to slide up on the slide cover plate, and you'll hear the firing pin click as well. And then once you get to that point, then you can grab the slide cover plate, put it aside, take out the firing pin, push up, slide out, set that aside. Now next step is to push down on the firing pin safety, turn over, teeter-totter your extractor like so, pull out, set that aside, still applying pressure to your firing pin safety. Now slightly release the pressure, turn it over, put that aside, and if your extractor depressor plunger is stuck, you can use your small punch and slowly push on it, and then you should be able to grab it with your hand and slide it out like so. Now if you don't have a channel liner, it's good to have a tool for it. Stick it in, and if you had a channel liner, if you didn't have a channel liner, excuse me, you'd be able to slide this tool all the way in and bottom out on the bottom. But if you do, you'll be able to fill it like so, and you could also check by using a flashlight and shining it in there, and you'll be able to see the sleeve. And if you want to take it out, you would use this end, thread it on clockwise until you get to the bottom, get something to help stick in between there, small Allen or whatnot, and then you would pull it out. You would get your new one, slide it onto here, insert it, and push in until it's bottomed out and you can't push it anymore. You don't want to push too hard, you don't want to damage it. So that's for putting your channel liner in. Let's get back to the internals of the slide. If you wanted to replace your spacer sleeve, firing pin spring, or if you wanted to just put new spring cups, what you want to do is have a good amount of pressure. You don't want it to shoot out on you. And press down on the firing pin spring like so. Lift up on the spring cups and they'll come out, still holding pressure on the firing pin spring, because that thing will shoot up on you. And let it come up, pull it out, pull out your spacer sleeve like so. And that's how you would do that part. Now let's go ahead and put it all back together. Get your spacer sleeve, slide it in like so, making sure the notch is going like that, just like that. And now you get your firing pin spring, and you kind of want to keep it so it's sitting up like this. You press down on the firing pin spring, and you get your spring cups. Insert one at a time, slide it down like so, and then turn it away from you so you can install the next one like that. And you would get the other spring cup, place it in on the other half, like so, and slowly let the spring firing pin spring come up. And there you have it. You have that part complete. This is how your extractor depressor plunger would look like. You would have the spring loading barrel, spring loaded bearing part facing in the spring like that, and then this is what it looks like off of it. So you kind of see the difference, that the extractor depressor plunger are different on both sides. That's where you would insert this side like this. This looks like this on this end, just in case. You would just turn it in, applying pressure like so. Now let's go ahead and reassemble the slide. What I like to do is start off with firing pin safety. Make sure your spring is in your firing pin safety. Drop it in, apply pressure to your firing pin safety until you bottom out. Grab your extractor. This end goes this way. Oops. They were slippery. Drop it in like so, push down so it's nice and flush, like so, and the hump will be facing towards the ejection part of a slide. And you can slowly release the firing pin safety. Now we get firing pin, line it up like so, slide it in, drop it in just like that. Grab your extractor depressor plunger, this in first, drop it in the hole like so, until you can't do it no more by hand. Get your slide cover plate, get it in the grooves so you're able to start sliding it up. Get your tool, small punch, whatever you have to use, and you want to push down on this spacer sleeve, but you don't want to damage it either. So you want to push down on it until it's flush and you're able to push up on the safety cover, on the slide cover plate. And once you got it up far enough that it's catching on the spacer sleeve, you can remove your punch and continue to slide up and then stop. Then you get your other end of the punch, push down on the extractor depressor plunger. You also don't want to damage it. Push it down until you get it flush where you're able to push up on the slide cover plate. Remove your tool as you're pushing up, click it into place. You completed that part. Get your barrel, slide it in, drop it, get your recoil spring, insert it like so, get your thumb, apply a good amount of pressure, push forward, and then before I do that, you want to get it on the U part right there. That's where you want your recoil spring to sit. So you push up with your thumb as you're pushing up, drop it in that U part, make sure it's sitting in there. And there you have it. That's how you take apart and reassemble your slide. If you have any questions, leave it at the comments below. Otherwise, appreciate a like. If you haven't already, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.